Hey everyone, it's Nelson Miller here with PA Creative. Today in this tutorial, I'm going to be talking about images and specifically the overlay on a Divi image that you can set. And by default, there's a little icon in the middle of the image. Well, I'm going to show you how to replace that little icon with text. And basically, you create text over an image when you hover it, and then you can link that to some other page on your site or something like that. It may say, view more or view gallery or our services, whatever you want that to say, all by using an image module and a little bit of CSS. So let's get started. I'll show you how to do this.
So I know that a lot of people ask about this solution, how to have text when you hover over an image. The text appears, when you hover. And this works really good, replacing that icon that you get with the text. And there's other ways to do this, but this actually works really well just using what we've already have. It takes a lot less work, one snippet of code, and we're done. So this really is a nice solution to this. To start out, we actually have to make a few adjustments to the Divi Image module for this to work. And there's kind of a couple key things, that for the overlay to show up and for that to work. So you can actually have your image link somewhere else. I guess that's kind of, when I was making this tutorial, that was the first thing I thought of. Yeah, you'll have like text appear like view more, something like that, or learn more. But really, I guess I was thinking that was my use case, but really you could have a whole paragraph here. You really could. So let me show you something. Right now, obviously, I hovered over these images, nothing happened. So I'm going to show you how to turn on that overlay first of all. All right, so the key here is to do one of two things. Obviously, I have an image module set up here. So under the link here, the content tab link, I have to do a couple of things. Actually, let me show you something. If I go to design tab, the first toggle here is alignment, sizing, all that, right? There's no overlay toggle. That's what we want. So if I do this, open in Lightbox, it takes away the link option, right? Because turning this on is like this. I click here. See how the hand cursor changed there? I would click there and it'll just open up the view larger. Now watch. If I go to design, I get overlay here. Now I can turn image overlay on. So when I hover, you get like the background color, which is the overlay color there. It's like a white, it's set to white by default. And then the icon, this icon is set to blue by default. So that's what you would get. It kind of indicates that you're hovering, right? But when I click this, it'll open it full screen, or not quite full screen, but here, I'll just show you that. So I'm not linking away anywhere. It's just opening up like that. Kind of does the same effect that you would have with the gallery module. Okay, so, that's not really helpful, just opening. I mean, I guess if you would want to say like view larger, which to me that's, I mean, yeah, I guess there's a use case for that. Go ahead and do that. But I'm going to use the link, the example that I'm setting up. We're going to say, I want to link this to another page. So just go in here and instead of opening Lightbox, turn that off. And you could select a link to another page on your site. You could choose, page link if it's a page, and then whatever, just take it to another page on your site. And so now when I click on this, it's going to actually go to that page. So a couple of things in the design tab, the overlay, obviously turn the image overlay on there. Okay. Now you're probably going to want to set your own overlay color and your own icon color. Now we're not using the icon, but here's the thing. You have to actually choose an icon here in this icon picker field. You have to physically click on one of these, because without it, it just won't work. We need the icon selected so that then we can then replace it. Oh, and then the icon color will become the text color. So let's say you want your overlay to be black, but you want your text to be white. Well, then you would choose like that, okay? And of course, you can adjust how solid you want that color. You could do something like that. and then you'll still see through it a little. So let's actually set it like that for our example, something around there, whatever. We're gonna save this, and now let's get our code snippet. So back here in the tutorial, over on the blog, we have the CSS snippet. Now we do have a custom class that we're using. And the reason I have this in here is because more than likely you're going to want to change this text right here. See, it says view article, and we're going to be able to put whatever we want there. But the point is, you'll be able to write a whole different class like this for every single different types of text. And I'll show you that. So if I copy this whole thing and I come back here, go ahead and paste it in your theme options, custom CSS. I'm going to put it here in the page because I want to show you it live. So my class happened to just be PA image hover text like that. So I need to go in here to my advanced tab and put that there. Now look, it says view article. Just like that, we changed the icon to text. And the view article text is in this code. So if you take a look here, we're targeting that module where I put the code, and then we're targeting the overlay, and we're actually, it'll say ETPB inline icon. So we're targeting the icon, and normally the content there would say, I don't know, one of the codes, the little codes for the icon. But instead, we're saying content view article. Now, you can say whatever you want here, right? You can type anything, and you can even try to spell it correctly. But you could write a paragraph here, as long as it's in this content in the quotes like this, okay? The font family, now the font family is going to be the ET modules because it's showing an icon. So we need to change that and override it. So we're saying inherit in this case, kind of trying to inherit, something above it in the theme, right? You could choose whatever font family you want and put it there. The font size, that's what we're determining how big this is. The line height, text alignment, like if you, when you really get to have a lot of text, all right, so whatever, you have a lot of text, you might want this to be, you might want it to be aligned left, like that. See, I had it aligned center. Don't mess with a couple of these. Don't mess with the margin left. We're correcting that because the icon takes up space. It's very confusing, but the icon, if I didn't have margin left and then I had this at 100% width, if I did not have that there, it's not centered. So we need that there. Yeah, pretty much font size. Like I said, the color of this white you can adjust in the settings. Now the reason I was saying about having a different class, now watch this. If I copy this whole thing or just, paste it again, what if I say image text 2, right? So I might want to come in here and I'll write the class again. But this time I'm adding the 2. You could customize it however you want. Oh, and I needed to adjust the settings here. I needed to have a link and turn all this stuff on, of course. Okay, so now when I hover over this, you can see it has that text and it's lovely. But I could write something different here. You could literally write something different there. Okay, so you would do that as many times as you want, like however many different images. Like I kind of like the idea of having these images in this grid and like each one goes to a different page. Like, and you could make this like services, view services, or our services. Let's say that. And let's say, let's get extreme here. Let's say we want the font size to be big like that. That looks kind of cool. Maybe not, quite that big, but you get the idea. You might say our services on this one, and then, contact us or whatever you want to say on these. And there you go. It's that simple. Replacing the icon. And this is just, like I said, a standard image module. Just keep in mind, turning on a couple of those settings, the link. If you really don't want it to link, you're going to have to do the overlay or light box thing, and then copy this however many times you want, and then keep a different class in there for each image module. Now, if you had a whole bunch of images that you wanted to say the same thing, you wouldn't need that custom class, but more than likely you would need that. So yeah, I just really like this, and I hope that you find it useful and really enjoy this kind of tutorial where we're like creating something super useful by just adding a little bit extra onto what Divi has.
Okay, so there you go. That's how you replace that hover icon there with text on the Divi Image module. So I hope you guys enjoy this, and this is one that I'd really like to hear your feedback on, and show me how you're using this. This is kind of a fun one and kind of, outside the box type of thing, and I hope you guys are enjoying that type of content. And obviously we've done a lot of different tutorials here on the blog and on YouTube, and some are in series, some are, things that solve problems or whatever. But I feel like this one does too. If you agree that this does kind of solve a problem with kind of maybe a missing feature, let me know. And we'll see you guys in the next video.